Oh yeah, he turned the whole LA up with this shit.
They not
Oh
like
my
us.
God.
They not like us.
They not like us. They not like us.
You think you know how Not Like Us was made? You don't. Nobody does. Because what actually happened is so crazy, I had to fact check it 3 times. DJ Mustard, the producer, found out his beat was on Kendrick's Drake diss track while he was driving. He had no idea it was coming. And when you understand what that means, you'll realize this isn't just a diss track. It's psychological warfare disguised as a party. Let me show you exactly how Kendrick pulled off the most diabolical move in hip-hop. This is the story of how DJ Mustard's innocent, funky beat became the soundtrack to the murder of Drake's career. And the wildest part? Mustard had absolutely no idea. I'm telling you right now, this story is so crazy, so unbelievable, so completely insane that when I first heard it, I had to fact check it 3 times. Because what actually happened is even more diabolical than what we all thought. Kendrick turned a party anthem into a weapon of mass destruction. And today, I'm about to show you how an accidental collaboration became the most legendary diss track production in hip-hop history. If you're ready for the most high-energy, evidence-packed, and downright hilarious deep dive you've ever heard, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into it. Because this story is more layers than an onion, more twists than a pretzel, and more plot than a Christopher Nolan movie. Let's set the scene, because context is everything. The beef is at a boiling point. Drake is out here thinking he's untouchable, believing he's the king, convinced that nobody can challenge him. Meanwhile, Kendrick has been quiet, calculating and planning his attack. The rap world is waiting. Social media is on edge. Everyone is asking, when is Kendrick going to respond? What's he going to say? How's he going to come back? And then, boom, May 4th, 2024. Not Like Us drops like a nuclear bomb. But before Kendrick even spits a bar, before you even hear a word, you hear it. Mustard on the beat. Ho.
That's Drake's house.
Oh, shit.
Mustard on the beat, ho. Any rap nigga, he a freak.
Not DJ Mustard.
DJ Mustard is in this too.
Man down, call like Amber Lambs. Tell him breathe, bro.
Now, that's not just a tag, that's a warning. It's like hearing the Jaws theme before the shark appears. Like hearing Finish Him in Mortal Kombat before the fatality. Like the Law and Order, done, right before someone gets arrested. You just know something's about to go down. And here's the craziest part. The second that tag drops, everyone's head starts nodding. Even Drake fans. Even people who were defending Drake 5 seconds earlier. The beat is so infectious, so funky, so distinctly West Coast. You can't help but move. It's like Mustard lays a track with dance floor crack. Like he casts a spell on the beat that forces your body to move against your will. Drake fans were out here trying to hate, but their feet were betraying them. Their hips were moving. Their heads were bobbing. Initially, we all assumed Kendrick and Mustard planned this together. We thought they sat down and said, let's make the funkiest diss track ever. Let's make Drake's funeral a party. But here's the truth, and it makes the story even wilder. A subscriber sent me the receipts. And what actually happened is even more diabolical than I imagined. Mustard gave an interview and said, and I quote, "I had no idea he used that particular beat because I've been sending him beats that he never uses. I was in my car when I was told he was dropping Not Like Us using my beat. I had no idea he would use it as a diss track." Let me repeat that because it's absolutely insane. Mustard had no idea. Kendrick didn't even tell the producer. Mustard was just out here living his best life, probably driving to get some tacos or something, when suddenly his phone starts blowing up. People are calling like, yo, your beat is on Kendrick's Drake diss. And Mustard's sitting there like, what? Which beat? When did this happen? I didn't know anything about this. Imagine being Mustard in that moment. You're just driving, minding your business, and suddenly you find out you're part of the biggest hip-hop moment of the decade. You're part of history. Your beat is a soundtrack to the most savage career assassination in hip-hop history, and you had no idea it was coming. That's like waking up and discovering you accidentally won the lottery. Like finding out you're in a movie you didn't realize you were filming. Like discovering you're famous and nobody told you. The shock had to be unbelievable. The confusion? Completely real. He probably had to pull over just to process what was happening. And here's where it gets even crazier. Mustard said he'd been sending beats to Kendrick for years, and Kendrick never used them. Mustard was probably thinking, man, Kendrick doesn't like my beats. He's not feeling my sound. And then out of nowhere, Kendrick takes one of those beats and uses it to craft the most legendary diss track of all time. Mustard went from thinking, Kendrick doesn't mess with my production, to my beat just ended Drake's career, all in the span of a single phone call. The emotional whiplash must have been unreal. Now, let's break down why this accidental collaboration was actually genius, because the fact that Mustard didn't know makes it even more diabolical. Now, let's break down why this accidental collaboration is actually genius, because the fact that Mustard didn't know makes it even more diabolical. First, the element of surprise. Even the producer was caught off guard. If Mustard didn't know, that means Drake definitely didn't know. That means Drake's team didn't know. Nobody knew what was coming. Kendrick kept this so secret that he didn't even inform the person who made the beat. That's operational security at the highest level. That's CIA-grade secrecy. That's holding your cards so close to your chest that even the dealer doesn't know what you're holding. This meant Drake had zero warning. He couldn't prepare. He couldn't counter. He couldn't strategize. By the time he found out, the track was already out, and the internet had already erupted. That's strategic genius. That's understanding that in modern warfare, surprise is everything. It's knowing that if you give your opponent even a second to react, they might find a way to respond. Second, Kendrick's selection process. Think about it. Mustard had been sending him beats for years. That means Kendrick had an entire catalog of Mustard beats to choose from. And out of all those options, he chose this one for destruction. Why? Because it was the last thing anyone expected. Nobody anticipates a diss track to sound like a party. Nobody expects a career assassination to make people dance. Nobody expects psychological warfare to be funky. Kendrick looked at this beat and saw what nobody else did, a weapon disguised as a celebration, a Trojan horse, a way to turn Drake's downfall into a cultural moment. That's vision. That's creativity. That's the ability to see possibilities others can't. Most artists would have chosen an aggressive, dark, menacing beat, something that sounds like a diss track. But Kendrick said, nah, I'm picking the funkiest beat in the folder. I'm going to make this a party. I'm going to make people dance while I dismantle this man's career. That's genius. That's thinking outside the box. That's redefining what a diss track can be. Third, the accidental warfare aspect. The fact that Mustard didn't know he was creating a weapon makes it even more powerful. He made that beat with pure intentions, not to help Kendrick take down Drake, but to make people move, to create a vibe, to spread positivity. And Kendrick took that positive energy and weaponized it. He turned something innocent into a tool of destruction. It's like turning a water gun into a bazooka, like transforming a birthday cake into a bomb. The shift is unbelievable. And because the beat was born from a place of innocence, it carries a certain purity. It doesn't sound malicious. It doesn't sound aggressive. It sounds fun. That's what makes it so devastating. You're getting destroyed, but the soundtrack makes you want to dance. Your career is collapsing, but the beat makes you want to celebrate. The cognitive dissonance is powerful. Your brain can't process it. It's like getting punched in the face while someone is playing Happy Birthday. Fourth, the producer psychology. Mustard's reaction to hearing his beat on the diss track is both hilarious and revealing. He was like, wait, I'm part of history now. I just want to make people dance, not end careers. He went from being a successful producer to the guy who accidentally helped end Drake's career. His legacy shifted in a single moment. Before Not Like Us, Mustard was known for club bangers. Rack City, My Hitta, or Nah. These were party anthems. Songs you play when you're trying to have a good time. After Not Like Us, he became known as a producer who made the beat that destroyed Drake. That's a completely different legacy. And he didn't even plan it. He didn't even know. He became an accidental legend. That's like inventing something groundbreaking by accident, like stumbling into greatness, like becoming a hero without trying. Kendrick turned Mustard into an unwitting accomplice, and the result was legendary. Now let's get into the strategy, because this is where Kendrick's genius truly shines. He took a beat meant to make people dance and used it to make Drake's enemies celebrate his downfall. Even Mustard didn't see it coming. The irony is unbelievable. Think about what Kendrick accomplished. He turned a party beat into a murder weapon. He took something designed to bring joy and used it to deliver pain. That's psychological warfare at its highest level. That's a deep understanding of human psychology. That's mastering emotional manipulation. Because here's what happens when you hear Not Like Us. Your body wants to dance because the beat is so funky, but your brain is processing devastating bars about Drake. You're physically moving and having fun while mentally taking the complete destruction of someone's career. It's like your body and your brain are experiencing two different realities at the same time, and that conflict makes the message hit even harder. If the beat were aggressive and dark, people might listen once and move on. But because it's catchy and fun, they play it repeatedly. They run it at parties, they dance to it, they make TikToks with it. And every single time they hear it, they reinforce the message that Drake is finished. They're celebrating his defeat. They're dancing on his grave. That's genius. That's understanding that the most effective way to destroy someone isn't through aggression. It's through celebration. It's turning their downfall into a party. Drake's fans were literally dancing at their own funeral without even realizing it. It's like showing up to your own roast and bringing the snacks, like getting dunked on and then celebrating with the other team. The disrespect is legendary. Imagine being a Drake fan. You hear Not Like Us, and the beat is so funky that your head starts nodding. Your foot taps. Your body moves. And suddenly you realize, wait, this song is dismantling my favorite artist. Why am I dancing? But you can't stop. The beat is too infectious. The groove is too strong. Your body betrays you. You're dancing to your own L. You're celebrating your own defeat. You're partying at your own funeral. The psychological torture is remarkable. The cognitive dissonance is real. You want to be mad, but the beat won't let you. It's like trying to stay angry while someone is tickling you. Like trying to be serious while riding a roller coaster. Your emotions are in conflict. And that conflict makes the message hit even harder. You can't escape it. You can't ignore it. The beat forces you to engage with it. Now let's talk about the technical brilliance of this beat, because understanding production is key to understanding why it works so well. Mustard's signature sound is that ratchet funk fusion, a style he pioneered, instantly recognizable. The beat features bouncy drums that make you want to two-step. These aren't just any drums. They're West Coast drums with bounce and pocket. The kick drum hits on the 1 and 3, laying the foundation. That's what makes your head nod. That's what makes your chest thump. The snare lands on the 2 and 4 with that crisp snap. That's what makes you want to clap and gives the beat its energy. The rolling hi-hats create movement, not just keeping time, but adding groove and making the beat breathe. And that bass line, oh man, that bass line, it hits you in the chest like a Kendrick punchline. It's not just low frequency, it's melodic, it's a hook, it's something you can sing. The bass walks with motion and hits those sub-frequencies you feel in your body. It's not just heard, it's experienced. The BPM sits at around 98. That's fast enough to make you want to move, but slow enough to give Kendrick space to deliver surgical bars. If it were faster, the bars wouldn't land. If it were slower, it would lose energy. At 98 BPM, it's perfectly balanced. This isn't just a beat, it's a groove, it's a vibe, it's a full West Coast block party in a bottle. And here's where the genius comes in for a diss track. The beat has space. There are moments when the instrumentation pulls back, giving Kendrick's voice room to cut through. When he says certified pedophile, the beat steps back. When he says, oh viejo, it lets the line breathe. When he drops those devastating bars, the production gets out of the way. That's masterful production. That's understanding that sometimes less is more. That's knowing when to step back and let the artist lead. Most producers want to fill every second with sound, to showcase their skill, to make sure you know they're there. But Mustard understands that great production serves a song. It doesn't compete with the artist, it elevates them. And the fact that he made this beat without knowing it would become a diss track makes it even better. He wasn't trying to make it aggressive or dark. He was simply trying to make it funky, And that funk is what makes it so devastating, because it's the last thing you expect. It catches you off guard. Now, let's talk about the psychology behind producer tag, because this is crucial to understanding why the track lands so perfectly. When you hear that tag, your brain already knows it's going to be funky. It's like Pavlov's bell for hip-hop heads. It primes you to move. Over the years, Mustard have conditioned us. Every time we hear that tag, we expect a certain type of song, something to dance to, something positive. Rack City, party anthem. My Hitta, club banger. Or Nah, bedroom vibes. Every Mustard beat is associated with good times, celebration, and fun. So when you hear Mustard on the beat, ho, at the start, Not Like Us, your brain is already gearing up for a party. You're expecting a positive track. It's not just branding, it's a promise. It says, get ready to move, because this beat is about to make you do things you didn't plan on doing. The tag signals party time, not battle time. Celebration, not destruction. Dance floor, not murder scene. But Kendrick flipped it. He made it party time and battle time. Celebration and assassination. Dance floor and crime scene. Your brain expects groove, but gets destruction. That's how you catch an opponent slipping. That's psychological warfare. That's like offering someone a handshake and then pulling them into a headlock. Your brain is telling you it's a party song, but the lyrics are telling you it's an execution. That conflicting experience is what makes it so powerful. It's like watching a horror movie with a cheerful soundtrack. It's like receiving bad news delivered in an upbeat tone. The contrast amplifies the impact. And because Mustard didn't know it was going to be a diss track, his tag comes in with the exact same energy as all his other songs. There's no aggression, no warning. It's just Mustard on the beat, ho. The same upbeat delivery, the same promise of a good time. Then Kendrick arrives and completely dismantles Drake's entire existence while everyone is dancing. The deception is incredible. The misdirection is masterful. It's strategic brilliance. Drake fans were literally dancing to their own funeral without realizing it. They were celebrating their own loss. They were two-stepping into defeat. That's like showing up to your own roast and bringing the snacks. That's like getting dunked on and then joining the other team in their celebration dance. That's like getting knocked out and giving your opponent a standing ovation. The cognitive dissonance is almost comical. Drake fans were trying to defend him online while their bodies betrayed them. Their fingers typed Drake won, but their feet were shuffling. Their mouths said, Kendrick is overrated, but their hips were swaying. You can't fight a beat this funky. You can't resist a groove this infectious. Mustard made it impossible to hate. Even if you want to take Drake's side, your body wouldn't cooperate. Let's talk about the dance floor warfare, because that's where the genius truly emerges. The production weaponized joy. While Kendrick was dismantling Drake's career, the beat made everyone celebrate it. That is psychological warfare at the highest level. Think about every iconic diss track in hip-hop history. They're aggressive, angry, and dark. They're designed to make you feel the hostility. Hit 'Em Up by Tupac, Rage. Ether by Nas, Venom. No Vaseline by Ice Cube, Fury. These tracks make you feel the anger and understand conflict. But Not Like Us, it makes you want to dance. It makes you want to party. It makes you want to celebrate. That's revolutionary. That redefines what a diss track can be. By making it a dance track, Kendrick ensured it will be played everywhere, not just on hip-hop radio or in rap circles. Everywhere. DJs started spinning it in clubs of all genres. Hip-hop clubs, pop clubs, EDM clubs, Latin clubs. The beat was so infectious, it transcended genre and culture. TikTok exploded with dance challenges, not just from hip-hop fans, but from teenagers, adults, even people who don't listen to rap. People choreographed routines, did shuffles, and made it their own. Every single one of those videos spread Kendrick's message. Each dance challenge reinforced that Drake had been defeated. Athletes began celebrating to the track. NBA players used it as walkout music. NFL players danced to it after touchdowns. LeBron James posted about it. Professionals across multiple sports adopted it as their anthem. And what were they celebrating?
Oh yeah, he turned the whole LA up with this shit.
They not
Oh my
like us.
God.
They not like us.
They not like us. They not like us.
And what were they celebrating? Drake's defeat. They were dancing on his grave. They were partying at his funeral. Even international audiences joined in. People in Japan were dancing to it. People in Brazil were vibing. People across Europe were getting down. This is the first time in history a diss track became a global dance phenomenon. That's not just a win. That's a flex. That's not just victory. That's domination. It's like winning a war and then throwing a parade. Like defeating your enemy and turning their downfall into a holiday. Like destroying someone and getting the whole world to celebrate it. And the most diabolical part? Kendrick made Drake's own fans dance at their hero's funeral. Meanwhile, Mustard had no idea he provided the soundtrack to the assassination. That's like DJing a party and realizing the song you just played got the birthday boy kicked out. Like being the band on the Titanic without knowing the ship is sinking. The cognitive dissonance was unreal. Drake fans were two-stepping to their own loss. That's like showing up to a cookout and realizing you're the main course. Imagine being a Drake fan in the club. Not Like Us starts playing. The beat is so funky you start dancing. You're having a great time, fully vibing. Then someone next to you says, "You know this track is about Drake getting destroyed, right?" And you're like, "Wait, what?" "I'm dancing to my favorite artist's funeral." But you can't stop. The beat won't let you. Your body has a mind of its own. You're stuck there dancing to your own L, looking foolish, completely unable to stop. That's torture. That's psychological warfare. That's the kind of thing that keeps you up at night. Now, let's break down the psychology behind why this works so effectively, because there's actual science behind it. Beats override lyrical content emotionally. This is a documented psychological phenomenon. Your brain processes music and lyrics differently. The beat hits your limbic system, the emotional, instinctive part of your brain, making you feel before you think. The lyrics hit the cerebral cortex, the rational, analytical part, making you think after you feel. So when you hear Not Like Us, your emotional brain responds to the beat first. This is funky. This makes me want to move. This feels good. Then your rational brain processes the lyrics. Hold on, these bars are brutal. This is destruction. This is negative. But by that time, your body is already moving. Your emotions are already engaged. You're in the groove. And that initial emotional response is almost impossible to override. Your rational brain says, "Stop dancing. This is a diss track." But your emotional brain says, "Yeah, but it slaps." That's why even Drake fans can't help but move to Not Like Us. The beat hijacks your emotions before logic can catch up. You may be getting roasted, but if the beat is funky enough, you can't resist. That's what makes this track so powerful. It's not just about the words. It's about the feeling, and the feeling is positive. Even though the message is destructive, that contradiction creates a memorable, impactful experience. Mustard's unintentional role in this musical warfare makes the destruction even sweeter. Because he made the beat with pure intentions. He wasn't trying to hurt anyone. He just wanted to create a vibe. And Kendrick took that vibe and weaponized it. He turned joy into a tool of devastation. That's like taking someone's kindness and using it against them. Like turning someone's gift into a weapon. The irony is beautiful. The poetry is incredible. The strategy is genius. Kendrick used joy to amplify destruction. He used celebration to enhance devastation. He used dance to spread defeat. That's next-level manipulation. That's a fundamental understanding of human psychology. That's knowing how to wield emotion as a weapon. And shout out to the subscriber who sent me that interview. This is why I love this community. You keep me honest. You send the receipts. You make sure I'm telling the truth. When I first covered this track, I assumed Kendrick and Mustard planned it together. That seemed logical. But then a subscriber sent me the actual interview where Mustard explains what really happened. And I thought, yo, this changes everything. Because the truth makes the story even more incredible. It highlights Kendrick's strategic brilliance and his ability to see possibilities no one else recognizes. Fact-checking matters. Getting the story right matters. And sometimes the truth is even more extraordinary than the assumptions. Mustard was just trying to create a vibe. Kendrick turned that vibe into a weapon. Mustard was just making a beat. Kendrick turned that beat into a legacy. That's the power of vision. That's the power of strategy. That's the power of seeing possibilities others can't. I'm out. And remember, the next time you're dancing to a song, make sure you know what you're celebrating, because you might be dancing to your own defeat.